I want you to picture something. Do you want to be rich when you're young, vibrant, and you can actually drive that Lamborghini?
Okay.
Or do you want to wait until you're 70, maybe in a wheelchair, peeing in a bag, worried if your government benefits are going to last?
Well, that's a pretty jarring way to put it.
It's meant to be. The question the source material poses today is simple. When do you want your golden years? When you're young and can enjoy them, or old and limited?
I have to push back a little because for most people listening, I just want security. I mean, we've been taught for generations that slow and steady wins the race, right?
Right.
That's the classic advice from every financial guru. Get a good job, save your money.
And that belief, that get rich slow mantra, is precisely what we are here to dismantle today. Because get rich slow is, mathematically speaking, get rich old. It's a losing game. It's anchored by your time, which is finite, and it's totally codependent on Wall Street. It rests entirely on one word: hope.
Hope? You're hoping the market goes up, hoping you don't get laid off.
Exactly. You hope you live long enough and are healthy enough to even collect.
So you're framing traditional saving not as being prudent, but as a massive gamble.
It is. Welcome to our deep dive into MJ DeMarco's The Millionaire Fastlane. Today, we're analyzing the math that's designed to deprogram that entire financial script.
Our mission, then, is to really understand why trading time for money is the biggest financial trap out there, and I guess how to escape it.
Exactly. So let's start with the book's core idea, the 3 financial roadmaps. It uses a simple traffic analogy to show where everyone is on the road to wealth.
Okay, so where do most people start?
Most people, according to the book, are lifelong sidewalkers. They aren't even driving. They're just walking, taking the path of least resistance.
The sidewalk. So this is pure instant gratification.
Purely. It's all about pleasure today, debt tomorrow. Money is something to be spent, not a tool to be leveraged. Sidewalkers are often what the author calls one something from broke.
Meaning one paycheck away from disaster.
One paycheck, one medical bill, one layoff, even if they have a huge income. Think of the doctor or the lawyer making $500,000 a year but living paycheck to paycheck.
Ah, income rich but net worth poor.
Precisely. Their destination is almost always financial crisis. It's a dead end.
That makes sense. That's lifestyle servitude.
Yeah.
Buying things you don't need to impress people you don't like.
Yes.
So what's the next group? This must be the biggest one, the one for people trying to do the right thing.
It is. This is the slow lane. The slow laner is on a bicycle.
A bicycle. Better than walking, but still slow.
It's the good citizen plan. You get a good job, that's your income source, you save 10, maybe 15%. And your big wealth accelerator is compound interest.
The 8th wonder of the world, as they say.
The 8th wonder of a math prison. Because
Yeah.
you're trapped by something called uncontrollable limited leverage, ULL.
Uncontrollable limited leverage. Break that down.
Your leverage is limited because your time is limited. You can't work more than 24 hours in a day. And it's uncontrollable because you can't control the stock market or your boss or the economy. You have a speed limit.
My salary is the speed limit, and I'm just hoping the road is smooth.
Exactly. So if the slow lane is the bicycle, what's the fast lane?
I'm guessing it's the race car.
It's the race car. The fast lane is defined by the opposite, controllable unlimited leverage, CUL.
Okay.
The focus shifts completely. You stop thinking about a job and start thinking about building business systems, assets. You detach your time from your money.
So you build a machine that works for you.
A machine that works for you 24/7. You don't get paid by the hour, you get paid by the scale of the system you built. And that's the environment for rapid wealth creation.
But this is where my skepticism really kicks in. The traditional advice is just so ingrained. And you know my catchphrase.
I do.
But the gurus say, if I save $100 a month, I'll be a millionaire in 40 years. Compound interest is the 8th wonder of the world. Isn't the slow lane, while it's slow, isn't it the safest bet?
It feels safe, but mathematically it's a slow death. Let's just look at the equations. The slow lane wealth equation is simple. Wealth equals your job, which is time, plus market investments.
Right.
But this is punitive. Your job, time is capped. You can't just decide to work 500 hours this week. And your market investments. You have zero control.
So we're betting our entire future on variables we can't speed up or even influence.
Precisely. DeMarco uses the hitchhiker analogy.
Okay.
When you put your faith in a 401k or a pension, you are a hitchhiker. You're standing on the side of the road, thumb out.
And I'm hoping for a ride.
You're hoping for a ride, and you're hoping the driver is sober and the car doesn't crash. The economy is the driver. The stock market is the car. You have no control.
And crashes definitely happen.
They do. In the book, he talks about his own experience. He followed the advice, put $1,000 in a Roth IRA in 1997. 10 years later, after he'd already built a company and become a millionaire, he checked on that IRA.
It was worth millions.
It was worth $698.
Wait, it lost money over 10 years.
It lost money, so much for buy and hold. It just completely shatters the idea that it's a safe, guaranteed path.
That's a powerful point.
Now, compare that to the Fastlane equation. Wealth equals net profit plus asset value, and net profit is a function of units sold times unit profit.
Units sold times unit profit.
And here's the magic. Both of those variables are unlimited and controllable. You can sell 10 units or 10 million units. You can have a profit of $1 or $1,000. There's no ceiling.
So you're trading the act of just working for the act of building a wealth-generating machine.
That is the perfect way to say it. And that brings us to the Feynman analogy of the Egyptian pyramid builders.
Okay, I like this.
You have two builders, Chuma and Azur. Chuma is the Slowlaner. He carries stones one by one. He gets paid for each stone, so he makes money right away. He feels safe. But his progress is totally linear.
Limited by his own strength and the hours in the day.
Exactly. Then you have Azur, the Fastlane. He spends 3 years making zero money. Everyone thinks he's crazy.
And what's he doing for 3 years?
He's building a crane, a business system. It's 3 years of sacrifice, of risk. But then he flips the script. With the leverage from that crane, he finishes the entire pyramid in a few weeks.
While Chuma is still carrying stones one by one.
Still carrying stones. Azur obliterated the timeline because he built a system. That's the difference between working in a job and building a system that works for you.
I get the analogy, but Azur's 3 years of no income? That's the scary part, isn't it? That's why people stick with the Chuma's plan. It feels safer. So for the average person listening, they're thinking, okay, I get it. Starting a business sounds great, but it's risky. Should I just, quit my job and start a simple blog or join that network marketing thing my friend keeps talking about?
And that is a fantastic question because most so-called businesses are just jobs with more risk. They're what DeMarco calls a job in a Halloween costume.
The trap.
A trap. And that's why he created this filter, this litmus test, the 5 Fastlane commandments. He uses the acronym CENTS.
CENTS.
If your business idea violates these rules, it is not a real Fastlane business. It's a dead end.
Okay, let's go through them. What's the C?
C is for control. Thou shalt not give up control. Fastlane drivers build the systems. They don't join someone else's.
So a franchise or network marketing. That's a violation.
Big time. You're Hitchhiker again. You don't control the product, the pricing, the rules. The company can change the compensation plan overnight and wipe out your income. You have to own the keys to the car.
Rented land is dangerous. Okay, what about E? Entry.
This one is huge. Low barriers to entry mean it's a crowded, terrible road. If any, Joe Blow, as he says, can start your business in an afternoon.
Like a simple social media reselling account.
Exactly. Or joining that MLM. If everyone can do it, competition will be insane and you'll only compete on price, which crushes your profits. You need a moat, a barrier.
Makes sense. Okay, N must be for need.
The foundation. Thou shalt not invest in a needless business. This is where he attacks the whole follow your passion mantra.
Oh, the gurus love that one.
They do, but your passion for collecting 18th century teacups doesn't mean anyone will pay you for it. You have to stop chasing money and start chasing needs, problems, pain points. Listen to people complain. Wealth is just the byproduct of solving problems for a lot of people.
So find out what people hate and fix it.
Fix it. Okay, T is for time. This is the core of the whole thing.
This must be about passive income.
It's about detaching the business from your time. If it needs you there 7 days a week forever, it's not a business, it's a high-stress job. He uses the money tree analogy. You have to plant a seed that grows into a system that produces fruit without you having to water it every single hour.
So what are those systems, those money trees?
He lists 5 main ones. Rental systems, like real estate, computer or software systems, content systems, like books or a huge YouTube channel, distribution systems, like Amazon FBA, and finally, human resource systems, where you hire a team to run it for you. If it doesn't fit one of those, it's probably a job.
And the last one is? This has to be scale.
This is the law of affection, the ability to impact millions. If your business can't serve millions, it can't make millions. A local barber is limited by the number of heads he can cut in his town.
Caged mathematically.
Absolutely caged. But if you invent the software that all barbers use to book appointments, you can serve millions. Your income is directly tied to the number of lives you affect.
That really clarifies it. Why a local restaurant is a tough path, but an app or an ebook has, well, unlimited potential.
It had unlimited speed. And this brings us to the final brilliant irony of the whole book, the guru paradox.
The guru paradox. Let's talk about those mainstream financial celebrities, the ones on TV.
The Sues and David figures of the world. They're telling everyone to clip coupons, drive a 10-year-old car, and put 10% into index funds for 50 years.
The Slowlane gospel.
Exactly. But here's the question you have to ask. Is that how they got rich? Did they become multimillionaires by diligently clipping coupons?
Of course not. They got rich by selling millions of books.
And running huge TV shows and charging massive speaking fees and managing funds.
They use business systems. They use the fast lane.
They use the fast lane to sell the slow lane map to the masses.
Wait, so they have selling me a map they didn't even use themselves.
That's the paradox of practice. It's the ultimate hypocrisy. They leverage fast lane systems, media, publishing, distribution, while telling you to ride a bicycle.
They're producers in the fast lane, selling products to consumers in the slow lane.
And if you want to switch lanes, you have to stop doing what they say and start doing what they did. You have to become a producer.
The big takeaway, then, is that control, leverage, and scale. They aren't just suggestions. They're mathematical necessities for building wealth quickly.
They're non-negotiable. To create wealth fast, you have to leave that communist dictatorship of the slow lane with its rules and limits and embrace the unlimited, controllable variables of the fast lane. Focus on building the system, the process, not on some magical event. The choice is yours now. Are you focused on being a Chuma, carrying stones one by one, or an Azur, building a crane that creates unlimited leverage? Tell us in the comments. If you want to keep upgrading your brain, click the video on the left. We've selected another deep dive just for you. And hit that logo to subscribe to Nonfiction Insights for your daily dose of wisdom. See you in the next video.